Okay, and then just before we begin, if I could get the state and the defense to note their appearance, starting with the state.
Yes, Your Honor. Anthony Evans for the state.
Mona Abram from the Office of the Public Defender.
Yeah, hold on one second. Okay, so just so I'm clear then, it was Cheryl Guevara who has a witness downstairs who was coming up? Okay, so then the next Spanish speaker we would have would be Alex Bautista Cantero. Let me get the Spanish interpreter on the line.
Good morning again, Your Honor.
Good morning. Okay, so we are now addressing the Orange County cases where the inmates have the headphones for simultaneous translation. And we are going to start with this gentleman. Sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Sí. Alex Osmin Bautista Cantarero. Alex Osmin Bautista Cantarero. Bautista Cantarero.
Name is Alex Bautista Cantanero.
And what is your date of birth?
06 12 1995. Junio.
My date of birth is 06/12/1995.
Okay, sir, there is probable cause to support your arrest on the charge of driving under the influence, as well as driving without a valid driver's license. Your bond is set at $500 on each charge, and I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Thank you.
Sí.
Okay, can the correction staff hear me in the lobby outside the courtroom? I don't think they can hear me.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Can I get one of the correction staff? They can hear me if they come into the little room, right? Hi, can you hear me now?
In here, but not out there.
Okay, do we have a witness who is here for Cheryl Guevara? Do we have a witness in the lobby for Cheryl Guevara?
Cheryl Rivera?
Yep. No?
Yes, he's over there.
Hey.
What's that?
All right, Judge.
That's okay. She can't get out?
They can't let go slide because they don't have it. She gave it to her time.
You know what the button is up there, Madam Clerk?
No, we don't have a button up here to push, to open nothing.
Should be a red
There
button.
used to be a button up here.
There's a switch.
What is it? You see the switch too?
It says a switch behind your desk.
Behind my desk?
Somewhere I told her. There we go. Oh, sorry, Judge, there is a Susie Rivera here.
Okay, let's bring her in.
Yeah, bring her in, come on.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Ma'am, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Cheryl Guevara. 7/28/1984.
Okay. Ms. Guevara, do you understand English?
I can. Yes.
Do you understand English?
A little bit, but I prefer Spanish.
Okay, can you hear the Spanish interpreter?
Yes.
Okay.
Sí.
Um,
Okay.
All right, so there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of aggravated assault with a firearm. Your bond will be set at $2,500. Sir, do you wish to be heard on any conditions of release?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you tell me your name, please?
My name is Lazaro Salazar.
Okay, and what is your relationship to Ms. Guevara?
I'm her husband.
Okay, and what would you like to tell me?
I just wanted to explain, I think there was a misunderstanding with her yesterday because I don't think the officer spoke Spanish. And she had told them that she grabbed my assault rifle, which she did, which was 2 feet behind her. And then she told them that she had threatened me. But I wanted to make it clear because when she had the gun, she didn't point it at me.
Okay.
And she put it on the bed. And then 15 seconds or so later, after we screamed, that's when she made a threat.
Okay, so my question to you, though, at this point is, are there any particular conditions of her release that you want me to consider?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not feeling unsafe with her. I'd like her back at home because she's been having mental health issues.
Okay.
And I wanted to get her back into a facility so she can get her help that she
Okay.
needs.
Mr. Evans, do you have any questions of this gentleman?
Maybe just a few, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry, what's your last name, sir?
Salazar?
Salazar. Mr. Salazar, you're not in fear in any way,
No, no.
and you're comfortable if the defendant does return to your home?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions, Ms. Abraham?
No, Your Honor, but we do have a PC challenge for this case.
Okay, well, just hold on for 1 second. Mr. Salazar, do you have some way to remove the weapon from your home?
I have a safe in the home, ma'am, and I'm putting them back in the safe, all my guns, and securing it, and I'm going to hide the key so she won't know where it's at.
Okay. How many guns do you have?
I got quite a bit. I've got about 2 shotguns,
Let
3...
me just ask this question. Can all of them fit securely into a safe?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Ms. Abraham.
Your Honor, Ms. Guevara is charged with aggravated assault with a firearm. The PC affidavit had states that she was not actually in possession of the firearm when she had made this statement. I believe she had placed the gun on the bed. Again, and that's also what Mr. Salazar had mentioned. She removed the firearm from her possession, and then after that had said, "Be careful, I will kill you," allegedly. And Mr. Salazar also mentioned, there is no mention of Mr. Salazar ever being in fear within the 4 corners of the affidavit.
Okay, what says the state?
Your Honor, in the middle of the affidavit, it said that she made her way into the bedroom and grabbed the victim's rifle, and she began yelling at him while in possession of that rifle. While the certain details and specific details of what was yelled at when in possession of that rifle could be construed as an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Okay, so I do believe that there is probable cause. First of all, I can only look at the 4 corners of the charging affidavit and cannot consider his testimony with determining whether there was probable cause, because obviously the police officer didn't include that in the report. So I've set her bond, and then with regard to conditions of release, she's to have no hostile contact with her husband, and she is not to possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons.
Your Honor, she qualifies
And I
for
will
straight
appoint the
PTR.
public defender to represent her.
Your Honor, she does qualify for PTR. Would we be able to do ROR with the condition being that she does not possess weapons,
Hold on one
no
s-
hostile contact?
Hold on 1 second, let me see. Okay, I'm not going to release her to pretrial release on this charge.
And she does have an immigration.
Could I also ask a question, ma'am?
Hold
Your
on 1
Honor?
second. I'm
She
sorry.
does have an immigration detainer.
She has an immigration detainer as well. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
My stepson is a Coast Guard in South Carolina, and he already told me that he was fine with her going to stay with him for a while.
That's fine.
So I just wanted to let you know that was available.
That's fine. But my point is if she's going to come back to live with you, which I will allow her to do, you have to lock up all of those firearms because I've ordered her to have no possession of any firearms.
Understood.
Okay, thank you. You're free to go. Have a good day. He bonded out? Okay, great. I think he was our last Spanish-speaking defendant, is that right? Yes? Okay. All right, so to our interpreter, thank you. I think we're done with your services for today.
Your Honor, may the interpreter respectfully inquire if there is any victim of domestic violence that would like to put a statement before I log out?
That's
Because
a-
after that, there will be no service.
Okay, that's a good question. So can the correction staff see if there's anyone in the lobby who needs a Spanish-speaking translator?
If Your Honor wants to move on to the next case, I do not have any inconvenience in staying longer, but once we exit the courthouse,
Sure.
it is, I do.
Yeah, that's fine. Do we have anyone here? No. Okay, we don't have any witnesses that require the services of a Spanish interpreter.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, to the court and to the staff.
All right, you have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay. All right, so now we have Lee. Okay. Miss, do you speak English? Do you speak English?
Yes, but a little bit.
A little bit, okay. And is Mandarin your language?
Yeah, Mandarin Chinese.
Okay, so we're going to get a Mandarin translator for you if we can.
Thank you.
Okay.
Press the little mark on the black.
Right here?
Yes.
Okay.
It should be there.
Okay, good morning. This is Judge O'Kane in Orlando, Florida. Do we have the Mandarin translator?
Yes, this
Okay.
is Mandarin translator.
Okay, good morning. I'm conducting initial appearances here at the Orange County Jail, and we have a lady in custody who requires your services. She is here in the courtroom with me, and so
Yeah.
we will begin. Miss, would you please tell me your name and date of birth?
你好，那我是中文翻译。您首先可不可以告诉我你的名字跟你的出生年月日？
李乐，1980 5月20。
姓李叫乐是吧？
是。
All right. First name is Le, L-E. Last name is Li, L-I. And then date of birth is May 20th, 1980.
There is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of domestic violence battery.
那我们有可能会因为您的家庭暴力的行为对您进行指控。
You will be released to the pretrial release program.
那我们这边是有上庭之前的这个项目，所以呢，会在这个上庭之前呢，会将你释放。
with the following conditions.
那你需要满足下面的条件。
You are to have no hostile contact with Z Fang.
那你不允许跟 Z 番有任何的联系。
Do you understand that condition?
你是否明白这个条件呢？
明白。
Understood.
Okay, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
我们会有公共的辩护律师来替你辩护。
And just a question for our corrections staff, will you have access to the language line to have the assistance of the Mandarin interpreter to instruct her on the conditions of pretrial release?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, okay, great. All right, thank you to our interpreter.
Can she transfer it?
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
And are you able to transfer us to a Creole interpreter? Or do
The language is Creole.
yes,
Korean.
no, Creole. Can you transfer us or do we need to call back?
Creole. Yes. Yes, I can transfer Creole, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Creole, yes.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hello, this is Maria, I'm a customer agent. I was told that you need a Creole interpreter. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that is.
For Creole, we have Haitian Creole and Cape Verdean Creole. Which one do you need?
I believe Haitian Creole.
Thank you. I will connect right now with your interpreter. Please hold.
The next available interpreter.
Hello, is there a Creole interpreter on the line?
Did she hang up? Oh, no.
Why don't we just call back or see if there's still.
Somebody's still there. Okay, let me just hang.
Thank you for calling Language Line Solution. This is Belinda.
Hi, good morning. This is Judge Julie O'Kane in Orlando, Florida. And are you the Creole interpreter? Hello?
Hello.
Okay, you want to call them back? Oh,
Done.
it won't let me. Oh, there we go. Oh, wait, hold on. Come on. There we go.
Your Honor, if I may for a moment.
Yep.
I was gonna ask for a 2-3 minute recess for a bathroom break. Would you like me to go now while we're having an interpreter? If that's okay.
No?
Can you just wait? until
Yes, that's
this-
fine, Your Honor.
Can you hear me, Belinda? Can you hear me? Something must be wrong with you. Can you hear me? She just saying hello. Something, she's not connected. Hello? She's gonna go try again. Belinda, I don't know what she's doing over her end. Haitian Creole. Haitian Creole.
Hi, this is Judge O'Kane. How are you? Good. I got a phone call from someone from your office that there's an emergency warrant in the duty queue. First of all, you guys should have the instructions to just call my cell phone directly and not the duty phone. And secondly,
Belinda,
I'm in
can
the
you hear me?
jail right now doing initial appearances, and
Okay.
as soon as I'm done,
Yes,
I'll
I
look
can
at that
hear you
warrant.
now. So we going.
Okay? You'll let the officer know. That would be great.
Yeah, but you didn't hear me, so.
Bye-bye.
I need you to translate for me in a court proceedings. I'm gonna put you on hold. So the judge will ask you some questions. So the judge, you can press talk,
Okay? Got it.
so she should be there.
Okay, do we have our Creole interpreter?
Yes.
Hi, good morning.
This is Belinda. Good morning.
This is Judge Julie O'Kane. I'm in Orlando, Florida. Thank you for assisting us. I am
Thank you.
conducting initial appearance hearings, and I have a gentleman that requires the services of a Creole interpreter. And so we will now begin. Sir, would you please tell me your name and date of birth?
Nom se Belinda m'a interprété pour vous. Ou ka ban nou date de naissance ou, s'il vous plaît?
30 novembre 1975.
November 30, 1975.
And sir, what is your name?
Equino,
Serge Valère.
Serge Valère.
Mr. Valère, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of failing to remain at a traffic crash with serious bodily injury.
E yo jwen cause probable pou yo arrêter ou parce que te font accident et ou pas vle rete. Et pendant que te gen moun ki te vraiment frappé.
Your bond is set at $5,000,
Ou gen pou paye $5,000 pou ban.
and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Ma ban yon défendeur public pou représenter ou.
Do you have any questions while I have the interpreter present?
Est-ce que gen question pendant que moi gen interprète la présent?
Moi, pas attendre combien charge là il y a encore. Qu'à prendre répéter pour moi, s'il te plaît.
How much is the bill? I did not hear it. Would you repeat it for me, please?
Sure. The bond is $5,000.
Li se $5,000.
Pour bonne non? Bonne en route?
For the
Pour
bailout?
qui ça?
For the bond?
Yes, the bond is set
Oui.
at $5,000.
$5,000.
Pour bonne en route jeudi là?
So I could $5,000 to bail out today?
Correct.
Est-ce que
Yeah,
est-ce que
oui.
c'est présent pour me bailler? Est-ce que me pas bailler dans plusieurs termes?
I have to give it right away, or can I give it a different portion, different amount?
You can contact the bondsman, and they will let you know how much of the $5,000 you need to post in order to be released from the jail.
Ou gen pou kontakte avec Belsman nan, yo même y ap djou combien kob ou gen pou payer pou lage.
OK, d'accord. Merci.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, and thank you to our interpreter. I hope you have a good day.
You too, thank you, Your Honor. Anything else for you today?
I don't think so.
Thank you so much for using our services. You have a great day.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye. Yes.
I was given from the, I guess, the victim room, I guess 2 victims that need to be dialed or called for a Santos case.
Okay.
I may run the restroom whenever.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you.
We'll take a recess. I don't know who those people are. I'll have to look at when we call up those cases. Okay,
Do that one now, or when we get to it?
just when we get to it. I don't
Okay.
know.
Come back.
We're gonna wait for him. You're welcome. Okay, is this Ms. Flores? Would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
It's Jasmine Alyssa Flores. I was born in March the 1st, 2001.
Okay. And Ms. Flores, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of domestic violence battery.
Okay.
Your bond is set at $500.
I thought I came in with no bond.
You did, but I'm setting your bond.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am. Who are you?
Hi, Jasmine's
I can't hear
mom.
you. Can you speak into the microphone?
Yeah, I'm Jasmine's mom.
Okay. And tell me your name.
I'm Sarvia A. Portillo.
Okay. And do you wish to be heard on any conditions of release?
Yeah, I just have a paper that my daughter needs to be very active, that she needs to be in the hospital. She don't needs to be in jail because she just had like a breakdown, and
Okay.
then we just started having an argument. We fight each other. But I have of the papers that she needs to be in the hospital, not in jail.
Did a judge sign an order committing her to the hospital for a Baker Act admission?
Yeah, he did, but I don't have the paper. I just have the paper from the hospital. She was released like a week ago.
Okay, so she had a Baker Act admission and she was in the hospital for some period of time and then she was released.
And then she came out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so unless there's a new order entered by a court, she doesn't go back unless there's a different order entered, okay? So my question to you is, I have to set conditions of her release. No contact with you, live in a separate residence, no hostile contact. Do you have any input on any of those conditions?
Like, what do you mean?
Okay, so does she live with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so because she's been arrested on a charge of domestic violence battery with you as the victim, all right, you have an opportunity to be heard. So let me ask this question. Are you in fear of her?
Afraid of her?
Are you afraid of her? Yes.
Sometimes, but not all
Okay.
the time.
Okay. Does she have some place to live if she's not living with you?
Yes.
And where would that be?
My grandma, her mom, my mom.
Her grandmother's house?
My mom.
Okay, all right. And, Mr. Evans, do you have any questions of this lady?
No, Your Honor, I believe you asked sufficient when you asked if there was an alternate place to stay and the fact that the mother is not in constant fear of the daughter.
Okay, and Ms. Abraham, do you have any questions of this lady?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Portillo? Are you primarily responsible for her mental health treatment?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say you're the best person to supervise her while she seeks that treatment?
Yeah.
And I know we asked if you were in fear. Are you presently in fear of your daughter?
No, it's she had like a breakdown that day, and then she was in the hospital. Then she came out. Then she kind of got mad at me, and then she got up from the car. Then she was disappeared like 3 days. Then she came back to the house, and then she had a breakdown again. And we just had a big conversation and everything. But with me, like she needs help to be in a hospital. Treatment. She needs treatment. She needs to be bigger acted more longer that she was supposed to be.
Okay. And would you want her to return home and be able to live with you?
She could come with me.
Okay.
I love my daughter. I love her very much, and I'm willing to work out as a family because we all are family.
Okay, if the judge is to impose no hostile contact in this case, meaning she's not allowed to fight with you or yell at you, would you feel like that would protect you and that would allow for her to come home?
Yeah.
Okay, so would you want the judge to impose no hostile contact, but she is able to come home?
She could come home.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to order no hostile contact. Ms. Flores, that means no yelling, shoving, fighting, pushing, kicking, displaying any acts of aggression towards your mother. Do you understand
We're
that?
gonna work as a family. I'm willing to work it out.
Okay.
Because we all have.
I understand you, though.
Problem and everything.
Okay, but Ms. Flores, do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Okay, and I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Okay, ma'am, she's going to be released after she posts a $500 bond, and she can come back and live with you if you're willing to have her in her residence, but she can't have any hostile contact with you.
What is hostile mean?
That means no yelling, shoving, punching, kicking, no acts of aggression, nothing. She has to treat you with respect and interact with you in a very calm manner.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Love you, Jasmine.
Your Honor,
Yep.
Anthony Ferreira he refused to attend.
He refused to attend?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, we'll reset him for tomorrow.
Anthony Harris is mental health.
Okay. We will reset Mr. Harris then for tomorrow. Okay. Okay. All right, sir, could you tell me your name, please? Is your name Samuel Wilson?
I'm partially blind. I can't hear.
Your Honor, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
Can't hear very well.
Okay.
No,
well-
I'm partially blind. I can't hear. I got hit by a car about 5.5 months ago.
Okay, well, let me have the correction staff give you some listening devices, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me.
That's good now.
Okay. Can you tell me your name, please? Mr. Wilson, can you hear me?
I can't hear. Sure.
Can you hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me your name, please?
Can you tell her your name?
Samuel Huey Wilson.
And what is your date of birth?
November 29, 1951. I'm 69. I'll be 77, 29 next year, November.
Okay. There's probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of trespass on property after a warning. Your bond is set at $500, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
I can't hear.
Okay.
Okay.
She gave you a PD. Your Honor, would it be possible to release Mr. Wilson ROR in light of I was able to pull up the admin order.
Uh-huh.
And that is admin order 2003-39-25, which states, I lost it, but pretrial release conditions for misdemeanor offenses such as trespass, various county and city ordinances, that they are released ROR. If I could have one moment to find that. And I did provide this to the state earlier today. Mr. Wilson, are you employed?
No, ma'am. I get 2 checks in. I get disability and what you call it?
Okay.
Into retirement.
Where do you live?
I live on the street. I'm homeless. I've been homeless almost a year now, about 6, 7, 8 months.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get I got people to look up for a place to stay. Never got a place to stay or nothing yet.
Okay.
I got the whole team over on over by the Daily Bread.
Uh-huh.
I had a special case.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, I had a case manager.
Okay. Your Honor, Mr. Wilson is on disability. He is a transient. He would not be able to afford a $500 bond or any bond other than to be released on his own recognizance.
What says the state?
Your Honor, the state has reviewed the administrative order, and while the state is not a judge with legal discretion, but also does agree with the defense counsel that because it's not a violent crime and he may not pose a threat to the community, that RR may be appropriate at your discretion.
Okay. Hold on 1 second.
I had a case manager.
You're a case manager?
And I haven't seen him in 5 or 6 months. I've seen him like once or twice a month. I haven't seen him more.
Okay.
He's a case manager.
All right.
They were looking for a place. They had a place for me to stay in Pine Hill. I never got there yet.
Okay.
I appreciate y'all. Please.
Okay. I've just got some emergency warrants here, so I'm sorry. I'm just seeing if one of my colleagues can handle those. Okay. So I'll release Mr. Williams' ROR with the condition that he not return to Advent Health unless he's there specifically for medical treatment. And I'm also going to order that he contact the public defender's office every Monday so that he can let the public defender's office know where he is.
Okay. Mr. Wilson, we got a PD on your case. Just going to let you out. No, you're not paying bond, okay?
Okay.
But you have to talk to your PD every Monday.
Every Monday?
Every Monday.
Okay, where would he get it? What else?
So yes, or if you got a phone, you can just call them.
Well, see, I don't have a phone.
Okay.
Only I'll be able to get there. Now, I used to have a scooter.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna give you a card.
Okay. I have a scooter, but it's not working right now. I can ride with it over here. Okay, that's P.
Yes.
And then I won't have no more money till next month. I don't know how long
Okay.
it'll be. I don't know how
You
long.
won't have to pay money to get out. You're good.
Okay,
Okay, so you just gotta keep in touch with your PD.
okay. Thank you.
sorry. I'm saving those for the correction stuff. Okay, ma'am, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Jelisa Acevedo, 09/27/1982.
Okay, Miss Acevedo, you have been arrested on a warrant issued out of Alachua County.
Yes.
Which is, it looks like it's on charges of burglary of a structure, grand theft of a motor vehicle, and grand theft. And there is no bond on that warrant. And I will temporarily appoint the Public Defender's Office, Ms. Abraham. That's primarily if for some reason she doesn't get transported or needs some assistance while she's here. If she can resolve that case, then at least your office can help her with that.
Okay, the warrant, Your Honor, did not have a bond on it?
It's no bond.
Okay.
That's what the bond was, yeah.
Okay, so did it include the bond? We have to ask that county, and then we'll let you know what it is. Okay?
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Justin Chase Taylor, March 20, 1986.
Okay, this is a recalled case from yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm trying to remember why.
And the offer was requested.
Okay, yes. Right, okay, Mr. Evans?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer for this case for trespassing and structure of conveyance, and also based off the criminal history of the defendant, is 180 days supervised probation, 30 community service hours, no return to scene, and court costs.
Okay, I'm sorry, what was it?
Sorry, Your Honor. 180 days of supervised probation, 30 community service hours, no return to scene, and court costs.
Okay.
Your Honor, is that for the new law, the most recent offense?
Well, the only thing I have is his new law offense.
Okay. Your Honor, can we request for him to be released on his own recognizance in light of the charge?
Okay, what says the state on that?
One moment, Your Honor. The issue the state has is that the defendant has been trespassed multiple times from that location. If there can be some kind of condition set on that release or has a no return to scene.
Okay, so I'm not going to consider the ROR in light of his criminal history, as well as the fact that he apparently has outstanding warrants out of Nevada. And yeah, and because of his criminal history. So, okay.
If I may, Your Honor, the allegation in this case was that he was sleeping in his car in an area that he wasn't
He
that
wasn't
had been
sleeping
previously trespassed.
But he wasn't, hold on, I just don't remember from yesterday.
I believe competency was a concern.
Okay, that's what the issue was, yeah. Okay. Right, so the bond is at $500. I'm staying it at that. Okay, thank you. Okay, I do need to just stop for a second to address these emergency warrants, so just give me a few minutes.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, go ahead.
here, come up and you wanna call or nothing.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Francisco de la Rosa, 0509, 1989.
Okay, Mr. De La Rosa, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of aggravated assault with a firearm, armed burglary of an occupied dwelling, and possession of a controlled substance. Just need to look at one thing. Okay, so on count one, your bond is set at $15,000. On count two, no bond. And count three, bond is set at $500 with the conditions of no return to the scene as well as no contact with any victim or state witnesses. You're currently out on bond on case number 2021 MM 400 AO, and your bond is revoked on that case. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. I believe the public defender's office was previously appointed to represent him on the misdemeanor case.
Your Honor, can you provide me with the case number for the new case?
I can. 2021 MM 400 AO.
I'm sorry, for the new case, the recent arrest.
Oh, I'm sorry. My mistake. 21 CF 961.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to appoint them. Okay. Sir, would you tell me your name, please?
I'm Joel Bernard Kennett,
And what is your date of birth, sir?
February 22nd, 1970.
Okay, Mr. Kennett, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of domestic violence battery by strangulation. Your bond is set at $5,000. Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Would you tell me your name, please?
Cordell Dixon.
Okay, and do you wish to be heard on any conditions of release?
No contact.
No, okay, so you don't want to have any contact with him?
No.
Okay. Mr. Evans, do you have any questions of this lady?
No, oh, sorry.
If she requests no contact, we have no questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Abraham, how about you?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I'm going to order no contact with Cordell Dixon. You're to maintain a separate residence. You're not to return to the scene. However, you may return to your home one time to collect your belongings with a member of law enforcement. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Say again? $5,000 bond, yeah. Okay. We need to let her out. You're good. Okay. Sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Courtney Martin, August 14th, 1990.
Okay, Mr. Martin, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of domestic violence battery by strangulation. Your bond is set at $5,000. And is there someone here on this case? Okay, ma'am, would you tell me your name?
Adriana Morin.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Adriana Morin.
Okay, I just need you to speak up a little bit because the mask muffles your sound.
Adriana Morin.
Okay, and what is your relationship with Mr. Martin?
That's my boyfriend.
Okay, and do you wish to be heard on any conditions of release?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I would like for him to return home.
Okay, are you in fear of him?
No.
Okay. Does the state have any questions?
Ma'am, you wish to have contact with the defendant?
Yes.
You're not in fear of the defendant in any way?
No, sir.
You don't want him to reside at a separate residence?
No, sir.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Abraham, any questions of the witness?
No, Your Honor, but I do see that he qualifies for PTR.
And I just saw that as well. Does the state have any objection to pretrial release?
Based on the testimony from the victim, Your Honor, no.
Okay, so he can be released to pretrial release, or he can post a $5,000 bond. Condition of release is no hostile contact with Ms. Morin. Mr. Martin, that means no laying hands on her, no pushing, shoving, no putting your arms around her neck, no acts of aggression displayed towards her. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good luck to you. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Calvin Perez, 6/10/1984.
Okay, Mr. Perez, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of domestic violence, battery by strangulation, as well as dating violence, battery by strangulation, and dating violence battery. Your bond on count 1 is set at $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is set at $150. Are there any witnesses here for this gentleman? No, I don't think so. Okay. Actually, I do see that he qualifies for pretrial release. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And does the state have any objection to that?
Is this aside from no hostile contact, Your Honor?
No, my question is, do you have any objection to him
No,
being
Your Honor.
released to pretrial release? Okay. So I will release him to pretrial release with the following conditions. He's to have no contact with the listed victim. They're to maintain a separate residence. And he may return one time to collect his belongings with a member of law enforcement. And I will appoint the public defender to represent him.
So you released the pretrial?
Pretrial release.
Your Honor, Terry Sanders is behavior.
I'm sorry, miss, would you repeat that?
Sanders is behavior.
He's a behavior. All right, so we will reset him for tomorrow.
I'm sorry, Jess, the one before him,
Yeah.
it was 5,000 or pretrial release, or you put him on straight pretrial?
It was 5,000 or pretrial. Yeah. So Mr. Sanders is not joining us today. Great. Okay. All right, miss, will you tell me your name, please, and your date of birth?
Shanika Sannon, April 14, 2001.
Okay, Ms. Sannon, there is probable cause to support your arrest on charges of battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer with violence, and domestic violence battery. She qualifies for pretrial release.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll release her to pretrial release. Sir, do you wish to be heard?
Yeah.
Tell me what your name is?
Jason Rodriguez.
Okay, and what would you like to say?
I would like to say that the cop, when he stopped us, we were already done arguing. Like, I was gonna go get water and clean up.
So let me just interrupt for you for 1 second. Do you wish to be heard on any conditions of release? Like, I have to impose conditions of her release. So are you in fear of her?
No, I want to see her. This is my baby mama. This is my lady. Like, I need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in fear of her at all.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
And also, I would like to ask why she got charged with the battery of an officer, because I was there when they asked her for her ID, and then as soon as she was looking for it, he just pounced on her, and then she was like, Jason, and then it was 3 officers on her. So I don't know where she had room to have battery.
Okay. Well, you can discuss that with the state attorney.
Yes, please, because
That's fine.
that is something that she shouldn't have. She's a pregnant woman. She has no room to be beating on an officer.
That's fine. Mr. Evans, do you have any questions of this gentleman with regard to conditions of release?
No, sir. Sorry. No, ma'am, Your Honor. He sounded pretty confident.
Okay, Ms. Abraham?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so I will release her to pretrial release with the conditions that there be no hostile contact. Hold on. Miss Sannon, that means no yelling, punching, pushing, no acts of aggression displayed towards this gentleman or any member of law enforcement. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir, did you have another question?
Yeah. So when she does get released, when is there still like a court thing? Because those charges still.
You can contact the Orange County Sheriff's Department and ask for a copy of the charging affidavit.
Okay, and what is the process of me being able to get her out?
You can speak to one of the correction staff downstairs on the first floor. They'll let you know when they anticipate her being released.
Okay. I love you, baby.
Okay. Okay. Okay, ma'am, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Jennifer Agosto, 7/11/1991.
Okay, Ms. Augusto, there is probable cause to support your arrest on 2 counts of domestic violence battery. Your bond is set at $500 on each count, and okay, I'm going to order that you have no contact with the listed victims and you not return to the scene of this offense. If that was your residence, you may return one time with a member of law enforcement to collect your belongings. You are currently out on pretrial release on a misdemeanor case, and I want to take a look at that. Okay, it looks like that case has been resolved by way of pretrial diversion. Oh, no, let me think. I don't think it's gone to pretrial diversion yet. Okay, it looks like that case was referred to pretrial diversion, so I'm not going to take any action on that. Mr. Evans, I'll leave that up to your office to determine whether she should be revoked from that pretrial diversion program in light of her new arrest.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. And I will appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Gusto. Thank
Your
you.
Honor,
Yeah.
Was the PD appointed?
Yeah, I just did.
If I may, it does state that the defendants in this case, the victims in this case are her parents, and they did not wish to prosecute. It appears she was suffering from mental health issues at the time. Would we be able to do pretrial release? I believe that she probably did not qualify for pretrial release because of the open case, the 2020 case.
Right.
Would we be able to place her on pretrial release with the condition being that she seek mental health treatment?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to put her on pretrial release because she doesn't qualify for it under our statute or administrative order. And it looks like the victims were contacted and they were left messages about the court date today. So without further input from them, I'm just going to leave the conditions the way they are.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
But she didn't revoke the bond. Call your attorney when you get
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
David J. Batten, Jr., 6/11/82.
Okay, Mr. Batten, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of dating violence battery. Hello, ma'am.
Hi,
Would you tell me your name, please?
Molly Ashmead.
Okay, I can't hear you. You'll need to speak a little bit louder. for me.
Molly Ashmead.
Okay, and do you wish to be heard on any conditions of release?
What does that mean?
Okay, so he's been arrested, and so I'm going to set his bond at $500, and I'm going to impose conditions of release. No contact with you or no hostile contact. You have to live separately. So let me ask you this question. Are you in fear of him?
No.
Okay, do you live together?
Yes.
Okay, and do you want to continue to live together?
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. Evans, do you have any further questions of this lady?
Your Honor, if I may ask, is it appropriate if I ask her if anything like this has happened before?
Yeah, you can ask her whatever you want.
Ma'am, have you ever had any physical altercation with your boyfriend before?
No.
And you are fine if he comes back to reside with you, and that does not put you in any fear?
Correct.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions, Ms. Abraham?
No, Your Honor, I see that he does not qualify for PTR. Is there a reason for that, or?
It looks like I think, okay, I think these folks live in, ma'am, do you live in Orlando with him?
Yes.
Okay. I guess he just has a Massachusetts ID card.
It did appear as if it was just some missing information. Would PTR accept it? If not, can we do ROR with the condition being of no hostile contact?
Okay, so in looking at the first appearance information sheet, he apparently has out-of-state arrest for domestic assault, some type of property offenses, assault with a dangerous weapon, and assault and battery. And so in light of that information, let me see. Right, so pretrial release looks like was unable to verify any of his community ties, and they were not able to get all of the information that would be necessary from him in order to determine whether he qualifies for pretrial release. So I'm going to deny the request for ROR. I'm going to order that, Mr. Batten, you have no hostile contact with this lady. That means no pushing, shoving, yelling, screaming, no directing any acts of aggression towards her. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And I will appoint the public defender to represent you. All right, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Ma'am, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Yes, ma'am. It's Dominique Davis since 12486.
Okay, Miss Davis, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of domestic violence battery. Hello, ma'am, would you tell me your name?
Lakeisha Vaughn.
Okay, and do you wish to be heard on any conditions of release?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
As far as the incident at the property, did you want me to start from where everything, because I
No.
really can't hear you.
Okay, so let me speak up a little bit louder, but the only thing that I need you to talk about is any conditions of release that you want me to impose on Miss Davis.
Yes, I do want her to be released as far as everything, that happened. As far as Florida, the officer explained to us when they're called out that they have to arrest someone, which I told them and I stated that I didn't want any of that, to happen. I still wanted us to have contact, but he basically just told me that he had to do a job, his job. That's basically all that he stated. But as far as her being released is nothing as far as keeping us away from each other. I do want us to have contact.
Okay. Mr. Evans, do you have any questions of this witness?
Has there been any kind of altercation like this before in the past?
Excuse me?
Has there been anything like this in the past?
No.
And what's your relationship to the victim?
Girlfriend.
Or defendant? And you're not afraid of her whatsoever?
No.
And you're comfortable with her living at your residence?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Miss Abraham, any questions of the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm going to set her bond at $500. I'm going to order no hostile contact. Miss Davis, that means no punching her in the nose, no punching her anywhere, no slapping, hitting, yelling, screaming, no acts of aggression exhibited towards this lady at any time. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you guys live in Virginia. You will have to come back to Florida if the state files charges against you.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you need to make certain, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You need to make certain that you keep your public defender informed of your residence address as well as your bondsman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You too.
Your Honor, Osama Mustafa, his behavior.
Okay, so we'll reset him for tomorrow. Okay. Sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Dwayne Isley, 1230, 1974.
Okay, Mr. Isley, there is probable cause to support your arrest on 2 counts of domestic violence battery. Your bond is set at $500 on each count. You do not qualify for pretrial release. Yeah, you don't. I'm going to order that you have no contact with the listed victim, that you not return to the scene of this incident, that you maintain a separate residence. You may return to the residence one time with a member of law enforcement if you need to collect any of your personal belongings. And I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Call your attorney once you're out.
Thank you.
Okay, sir, if you'd step forward, please, and would you please tell me your name and date of birth?
Berlin Lahens, 11884.
Okay, Mr. Lahens, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of domestic violence battery. Your bond is set at $500. Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, can you tell me your name?
Suzette A. Sanders.
Okay, I need you to speak up a little bit. Will you say it again?
Suzette A. Sanders.
Okay, and Ms. Sanders, do you wish to be heard on any conditions of release?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I don't want him coming around me.
Hold on one second.
She's here for Toria Sanders, the one that was here for behavior.
Okay.
I don't know why she stepped in the booth because I was going to tell Madam Clerk.
Okay, you're not here on this gentleman's case, are you?
No.
Okay.
Sanders.
Okay, so Mr. Sanders was reset for tomorrow because of his behavior today, apparently.
Okay, can I say something before I leave?
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be the judge here tomorrow. If I was going to be here tomorrow, I'd say, tell me what you want to tell me, but I'm not going to be here tomorrow. So the judge who's going to be here tomorrow is the one that needs to hear whatever you're going to say.
It's too long of a process. I just don't want him to come near me, basically.
Okay. So you can talk to the state attorney after we're done, and Mr. Evans, you can get whatever information you want out of from this lady, and then you can present that to the court tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Lahens, you're to have no contact with the victim and maintain a separate residence. If you live together, you may return one time with a member of law enforcement to collect your belongings. Public defender is appointed to represent you, and your bond is set at $500.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, sir. Okay. Hello, sir. Would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
McLean Jeffrey, 102670.
Okay, is McLean your first name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, sir, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of domestic violence battery. Your bond is set at $500. You're to have no contact with the victim. You're not to return to the scene of this offense. If it is your residence, you may return one time with a member of law enforcement to collect your personal belongings. And I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Call.
That's all.
Okay.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Eso Manuel Muñiz Rosa, May 24th, 1993.
I'm sorry, tell me your name again?
Jesus Muñiz Rosa.
Okay, got it. Okay, sir, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of domestic violence battery. I'm going to set your bond at $500. Hello, ma'am, would you tell me your name?
Melanie Muniz Rosa.
Okay, and what is your relationship with this gentleman?
He's my brother.
He's your brother, okay. And do you want to, are you in fear of him?
I am. I do want to drop the charges, but I do not want him around me.
Okay, do you two live together?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll order that he have no contact with you then.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll order no contact. You can speak to the state attorney's office as to whether they're going to bring formal charges against him.
Okay.
But he's entitled to be released. Your bond is $500 with no contact with your sister.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you, sir. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Okay. Okay. Hello, sir. Would you tell me your name and date of birth?
Le'Veon Perkins,
And your date of birth?
03/17/87.
Okay, Mr. Perkins, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of domestic violence battery. Your bond is set at $500. Hello, sir, do you wish to be heard on any conditions of release? Can you hear me?
Not really, but a little
Okay, so, first of all, can you tell me what your name is?
bit. D'Angelo Williams.
I need you to be lean down closer to the microphone.
D'Angelo Williams.
Okay, Mr. Williams, do you wish to be heard on any conditions of release for Mr. Perkins?
No, I just want him out, I guess. I just want him out.
Okay. Are you afraid of him?
No.
Do you live together?
No.
Okay. All right. Mr. Evans, do you have any questions of this gentleman?
Has Mr. Perkins ever acted hostilely with you in the past?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Abraham, any questions?
No, Your Honor, but we would ask that, in light of Mr. Perkins being unemployed, that we reduce it to a release on his own recognizance.
It shows on his face sheet that he's just recently unemployed, and prior to that, he had worked for 16 months.
I was let go of my job, Your Honor, back when I was arrested a few months ago. So I've been unemployed.
Is he currently out on bond on another case?
No, I got
No,
Your
don't,
Honor.
You don't tell me.
I'm
was just
sorry.
asking
No,
the
Your
correction
Honor.
stuff. No, okay. Let me see what his criminal history is. Okay, he has an active warrant for
No,
his
okay.
arrest out of the state of Georgia. Okay, I'm going to leave his bond at $500, and I'm going to order no hostile contact with Mr. Williams. Mr. Perkins, that means no yelling, screaming, hitting, punching, scratching, no acts of aggression displayed towards Mr. Williams. Do you understand that?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, good luck to you. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Okay.
Eduardo Santos is medical, but I guess that's the victim that you're on call on his home.
He's not coming, so how is it?
He's respiratory precautions.
He's what?
He's respiratory precautions, so he won't be coming for it. But that was the number that was given to you.
So he needs to be reset.
So they weren't allowed to come up because they were possibly respiratory precautions.
Okay, yeah, so the witnesses weren't able to come up.
Right.
Okay, got it. No, I understand that, but Mr. Santos, is he in quarantine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so is that going to be for 14 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Unless he's given a bond and we get out.
okay. Well, I guess Ms. Abraham, I mean, I'm prepared to set a bond on his case. Do you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor, if we could waive his appearance and appoint the PD on his case, we can move forward with the initial appearance.
Okay, all right, so on Eduardo Santos, I guess we need to call the witnesses, although I don't.
Two of them, so they got two different numbers, so I guess we talked to one and talked to the other.
Hi, this is Judge O'Kane. Who's on the line?
Yes,
Can you tell me your name, please?
Valentina Aviles de Santos.
Okay, do you understand English?
I understand, but we need somebody to speak Spanish to explain exactly.
Okay, I don't have a translator for you, so I'm going to do the best that I can. First of all, are you afraid of Mr. Santos?
Excuse me? Yes?
Are you afraid of Mr. Santos?
Yeah, my son, he put in my face spray yesterday.
Okay. Mr. Evans, do you have any questions of this lady?
Your Honor, what was her response to the afraid question? Did you get that?
Something about him spraying her in the face yesterday.
Ms. Santos, do you want your son to return home?
Well, he needs the medicine because it's a lot of months the hospital supposed the doctor bringing the appointment, and because he's schizophrenic, bipolar, and then when my son have a medicine, we need it in my home, but he don't have a medicine, I don't need it in my home.
Okay.
And ma'am, does he have medicine at home?
No.
Ma'am, do you guys have any way of getting medicine anytime soon?
Well, I don't have an idea. I told you that it's my son who go in the hospital in Lakeside for us bringing the medicine, and then I don't have an idea where we're supposed to have the appointment.
And ma'am, were you injured last night?
Excuse me?
Were you injured last night, ma'am?
I don't understand what you say.
He's asking if you were injured last night.
Injured? I don't understand.
Did you suffer any injuries from the altercation with your son?
Man, I don't understand the question.
Did your son hurt you, ma'am?
Well, I told you he bringing to me blood pepper, and then bringing to me the electricity show in my chest.
Yeah.
I'm also scared, you know, but it's my son. I can put the charge because he don't have and money for renting in different houses. He don't have money for go over there, you know.
Has your son ever acted this way towards you before, ma'am?
No, I told you that he needs some medicine. That's what happened.
Your Honor, the state has no further questions.
Miss Abraham, do you have any questions?
Only one, Your Honor. Ms. Santos, would you be the one posting his bond if he gets a money bond?
Money bond for what?
If he gets a bond amount and it's money, would you be the one that posts the bond?
I don't have any money for the bond.
Your Honor, I would only ask that he be released, mental health pretrial release, if that's an option.
Okay. Miss.
This is the responsibility of the doctor. He's supposed to give me the medicine, and then my son is victim, you know, because he is sick, you know.
Sure. Okay. Miss Santos, this is Judge O'Kane. Thank you very much for letting us know that. I'm going to release your son to the mental health pretrial release program.
Yeah.
So he can be evaluated for his mental health issues with the condition that he have no hostile contact with you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him. First of all, I do find probable cause for both of the charges, domestic violence, battery, and battery. And so if you will just keep in touch with the public defender's office, they'll let you know whether he's been released to the mental health pretrial release program.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It was two victims. Don't worry about the common health victim.
Yeah, no. It's clearly a mental health episode. Okay.
Your Honor, do you happen to know what language she said she would need?
I thought it was Spanish.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure. Okay. Sir, would you tell me your name, please? Sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth? Sir, can you hear me? Okay, can you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Vernell, my first name, and the last name, Vernell.
Okay, and what is your date of birth?
08/12/1975.
Okay, Mr. Burnett, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of domestic violence battery. Does he qualify for pretrial release?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and I don't see anyone here for him. Okay, I will release him to the pretrial release program. And I am going to order no contact with the listed victim and maintaining a separate residence. He may return one time with a member of law enforcement to collect his belongings, and I will appoint the public defender to represent him.
On your attorney.
Good luck to you, sir.
Give her that. Okay. They're gonna release you, okay? So call your attorney. There you go. You have to call.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay. Sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Leon Wiley, April 27, 1984.
Mr. Wiley, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of dating violence battery. Your bond will be set at $500. You're to have no contact with the victim, and you're to maintain a separate residence. You may return to your residence one time if it's with the victim, with a member of law enforcement, so you can collect your belongings. And I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Is there any way I could get pretrial release? Because I don't have any family who could I could call to palm me out. All my family's in Daytona and Brunswick, Georgia.
Sure. So you don't qualify for pretrial release. Yeah, you don't qualify for pretrial release.
Your Honor, is it, I understand that he probably doesn't qualify because he doesn't have a stable address. He is disabled and he's currently unemployed, as is the victim in this case. Can we ask for ROR with conditions, being that he still have no contact with the victim?
What says the state?
The state agrees with Your Honor, the original $500 bond posting.
Okay, so I'm going to stay the bond at what it is, or I will refer him to mental health pretrial release. There's some suggestion that he reported mental health history, so if he qualifies for mental health, he can go to mental health pretrial release.
No, you're still, it's a $500 bond.
I don't know, see, I did check once a month, but I don't have anyone I can call to bond out.
Okay,
My family's here, my family in Daytona and Georgia.
okay, we'll talk to your PD, I'll call her.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
My name is Angel Martin Arroyo Rodriguez, October 11, 1990.
Okay, sir, there is probable cause to support your arrest. We've got a couple of things for you, so just give me a second.
I'm so sorry, I can't hear you.
Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. So there's probable cause to support your arrest on the following charges. Aggravated fleeing and eluding a law enforcement officer with injuries or property damage. Your bond is set at $10,000 on that charge. Possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon. Your bond is set at $150. Possession of a concealed weapon or firearm by a convicted felon. Your bond is set at $500. Possession of a weapon in commission of a felony, your bond is set at $150. Possession of fentanyl, your bond is set at $150. Possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, your bond will be ROR on that. Grand theft of a motor vehicle, your bond is set at $150. And then on the second case, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of criminal mischief. And your bond is set at $500 on that, as well as resisting an officer without violence. Your bond is $100 on that, and possession of less than 20 grams of cannabis, your bond is $100 on that. I will appoint the public defender to represent you on this new case, or the two new cases. You are currently out on bond in case number 2020 CF 5864 for fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, as well as that's the single charge in that felony case, fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer with sirens and lights activated. Your bond is revoked on that case, and you'll be held no bond. And it looks like the public defender was already appointed on that case.
Because she took away your old one. So I have to tell Ms. Thorpe to ask for a new one.
I'll write it down.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
Jamario Brown, 72683.
Mr. Brown, there's probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver. Your bond is set at $7,500 on that charge, as well as possession of more than 20 grams of cannabis. Your bond is set at $100, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Thank you.
One second. That's your two bonds.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
Michael Herrera, and December 27th, 2000.
Okay. We have on his case 5 charges. On the first charge, which is carjacking with a firearm, I find no PC for that. As to count 2, fleeing or attempting to elude law enforcement with sirens and lights activated, I find probable cause for that offense. His bond is set at $15,000. Count 3, which is leaving the scene of a crash with injuries, there's probable cause to support that charge. His bond is set at $5,000. Count 4 is grand theft of a firearm. And then count 5 is open carrying of weapons or firearm. There is probable cause for those 2 offenses. On the grand theft charge, the bond is set at $150, and on the open carry, the bond is set at $150. I will appoint the public defender to represent him. Mr. Evans, does the state wish to have 24 hours to supplement the probable cause on the carjacking?
Your Honor, the state will try to reach out and see if we can't get the probable cause for that charge.
Okay, so I will reset his case for tomorrow at, what time do they do initial appearances tomorrow?
I just put, it's in the morning. So I
Okay,
just put
so
41.
his case will be reset for tomorrow for supplementing probable cause on the first charge, count 1.
Okay, Your Honor, and just
Okay.
for the record, the defense would object to the 24 hours.
Okay, well, he's not going to be held. He can post his bond.
Oh.
So I'm not holding him no bond on that.
The carjacking, you are on him?
Yeah, he's ROR on that. But if he doesn't bond out, he's going to be brought into court tomorrow. And if the state establishes probable cause, then the judge at that point can make a ruling on that charge.
Got it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, I think from reading the charging affidavit, it seems to me that law enforcement, they're referring to that as a prior incident. So I don't know if there's a prior charging affidavit that they just haven't filed, but there was no details on that. Okay. Hello, sir. Would you tell me your name and date of birth?
Takyu Chang, 71794.
Okay, Mr. Chang, you are here today on a failure to appear warrant in case number 2020 CF 6657, failing to appear for status hearing on December 3rd. You have no bond on that failure to appear warrant. And then also a failure to appear warrant in 2020 CT 7381 for failing to appear for arraignment, and you are ROR on that. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you on both cases.
Your Honor, it does appear that the failure to appear is based on he's enrolled to participate in pretrial diversion and didn't upload a more current address. Would he be able to provide a current address to the court and be released on that first failure to appear?
On the felony?
Yes.
So that would have to be ruled upon by the judge handling that case.
Okay.
Yeah, because that judge is the one that set those conditions of release, or in his case, no bond. So he can file that motion with the judge assigned to his case.
So I have to tell you to turn me the volume on that first one, okay? No bond.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
My name Christopher Sherry, February 13, 1995.
Okay, Mr. Cherry, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of driving while your license is revoked as a habitual offender. Your bond is set at $2,500, as well as resisting an officer without violence. Your bond is set as $150. You're currently out on bond. in case number 2020 CF 15135 on a charge of driving while license revoked as a habitual offender. I'm going to revoke that bond, and I'm going to set a new bond at $5,000. I will appoint the public defender to represent you on both of these cases. Thank you.
Your Honor, I did take a look at that case. It looks like information has not been filed. Can we release him, or can we take no action on that case?
The 30 days hasn't run yet, if I recall correctly.
He was out on bond on that.
Say again?
So he was out on bond for the,
Right, so the 30th day, I believe, is Monday or Tuesday of this week.
Okay.
Coming up, so, yeah.
You have to
Okay.
repost that bond and that's the new amount. See, this is the other bond that you have to post. That's Tuesday, yeah. That, only on that one, then you have to post the 250 and then 150. Okay. That's, you have to or you have to wait, but right now, you would have to post another $500. No, that she didn't do that, so you did it different. But, so these are your bonds now. Okay.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
Ma'am?
Would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Danny Dawson, 5772.
Okay, Mr. Dawson, you have been arrested on a warrant for violation of pretrial release. That is in case number 2020 CF 9864. You have no bond on this warrant, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Your Honor, we are appointed on this case. It's actually my case in front of
Okay.
Judge Barber.
Okay.
I had given Mr. Dawson a date, and he, at the time, was sleeping outside of the Homeless Coalition. And I ended up getting a date earlier than that, but was unable to, he was waiting for a bed at the coalition. I contacted the coalition, but he had still didn't have a bed, so I had no way of contacting him. If we could release him, I do have the next pretrial release date, and he will be in attendance.
Okay, so this is not a failure to appear. This is a failure to comply with pretrial release by failing to report to the pretrial release program.
It was, yeah, I'm aware, Your Honor. It was based on not being able to keep in touch because we only had the number to the coalition and to his uncle who wasn't keeping in touch with Mr. Dawson.
Okay, so again, this is a warrant signed by Judge Barber, so she would be the one that would have to change that.
Okay, Your Honor, under the admin order, because it is a violation of PTR, and it's a matter of maintaining contact, I do believe a bond can be imposed or he can be released ROR in this case.
Okay, so as I understand what the law is that if there is a warrant that has been signed by another judge, regardless of what that warrant is for, and that judge determines what the bond amount is, the only way that I can change it is if the warrant indicates that the IA judge or some other judge can make that change. So I'm not going to change Judge Barber's bond. So, but if you're assigned to her division, I'm sure she would post haste consider your motion.
Yes, Your
yeah.
Honor, just a matter of getting him in front of Judge Barber.
Right. So.
Okay.
Okay.
I gotta try to
Thank
file
you.
another motion. Yeah, awesome, too.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
Randall Dotson, 12-2082, ma'am.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Oh, okay. All right, sir, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of attempted second-degree murder with a weapon, as well as possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. On the attempted second-degree murder with a weapon charge, which is actually a firearm, you'll be held no bond. On the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, your bond is set at $10,000. You're to have no contact with the victim, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Thank you.
Can I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yep. And just for the record, on the attempted second-degree murder with a firearm, I do find, based upon the charging affidavit, that proof is evident or the presumption is great that he committed that offense. That can be revisited by the judge who's going to be assigned to his case, but at least at initial appearance, I can make that finding.
Okay. Your Honor, he is asking for for this to be heard.
I'm happy to entertain any evidence you'd like to present.
If I could have one moment.
Sure. Okay.
Your Honor, I do believe he is entitled to a bond unless the state can prove evident presumption great, which is an even heavier burden than reasonable doubt or probable cause in this case. If I can have one more second to pull up the actual affidavit.
Sure. I believe this is the case where he's alleged to have shot someone in the head at the 7-Eleven at Colonial and Westmoreland. Did I see that back?
Yes, Your Honor, the only individual, it doesn't say that the victim identified Mr. Dodson. It says that the friend and the owner of the firearm is the one that had identified. And Mr. Dodson had said that, had made the allegation that he was the one to discharge the firearm.
And there was apparently video from Winnie Palmer Hospital.
Correct. So, and the video shows Mr. Dodson dropping off the gunshot victim. Right. I don't believe there's any victim of the actual altercation, or if there is, there's no mention of it in the affidavit.
I'm sorry, you said there's no what?
I don't believe there's a video of the altercation itself.
Oh, I thought you said there, right, okay. I don't think there is any video, well, if there is, it hasn't been indicated in here. But the way that I read this charging affidavit is, we have a victim who was shot in the head. He was at the 7-Eleven in West Colonial and Edgewater Drive. Victim described the suspect as black male, bald and heavy set. Law enforcement officer observed that the victim had been shot in the head. Apparently the bullet entered the victim's head near his left eye and exited out his right cheek. A witness contacted the Orlando Police Department and informed him that he had witnessed a shooting. The witness met with the OPD officer and provided a sworn written statement indicating that he was involved in an accident with his friend Randy, later identified as this gentleman. The two pulled into 7-Eleven to check out the damage to their cars. When they were outside the cars, the defendant, who was driving a silver Dodge Durango, got into an argument with a person in the parking lot who was later identified as the victim, Ronnie Thomas. While the two were arguing, the defendant grabbed Mr. Wilson's gun from Wilson's back pocket and shot the victim. Wilson then left the scene and contacted OPD from his home. OPD officer met with Wilson, and due to Wilson personally knowing Dodson, he was shown his Florida driver's license, and he positively identified the defendant as the person who shot the victim. The witness stated that Dodson transported the victim to the hospital, and when law enforcement went to the hospital, they were shown a picture taken by Winnie Palmer Security of the person that dropped off the victim. The suspect was standing next to a silver Dodge Durango. And the surveillance video from the hospital showed a short, heavy-set black male with a very short hair who matched the description given by the victim. And law enforcement reviewed the surveillance and determined that it was the defendant. Teletype revealed that the defendant is convicted felon out of Michigan. And so I think that absent any additional evidence of misidentification, that's sufficient to find proof evident presumption great.
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Dodson is identified as the man dropping off the victim, but not as the shooter by the victim. He also is not bold, and arguably, I don't believe he's very heavy set. He's around 180.
Okay, so the independent witness is the one who identified your client as the shooter. Okay? Mr. Dodson, don't say anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Unless your lawyer instructs you.
Yes, ma'am.
So the fact that the victim hasn't identified him, I don't know what condition the victim is in because he's been shot in the head, but I have an independent witness who knows him and told the police officers that he's the one that shot him. That's how I read this.
Right, Your Honor. I would argue that doesn't rise to the level necessary to hold him no bond in this case. It is suspicious that the friend and the owner of the gun is the one that identified my client and not the actual victim, who was able to speak to law enforcement. Additionally, Your Honor, we don't know anything about Mr. Wilson's appearance, and nothing about this affidavit meets the criteria necessary to hold him no bond at this point.
Okay. What says the state?
Your Honor, within the affidavit itself, as Your Honor pointed out, that the statements by Wilson being Wilson's own gun, he was able to identify that his own gun was grabbed by the defendant and used in the action to harm the victim and shoot the victim in the head. And Wilson was able to identify the defendant as well through ID produced by the police department as the shooter of the victim that night. Your Honor, this would be proof evident and presumption great within this affidavit that the defendant was actually the one who pulled the trigger and shot with a deadly weapon to the defendant.
So I just want to look at the statute because it's my understanding that second-degree murder
Your Honor, I'd also like to point out that the identification made of Mr. Dodson is him being the one that had brought the victim to the hospital. It's very unlikely that someone that shoots someone in attempted murder would also be the one to bring them to the hospital. It almost negates the intent. If you intend to kill someone or murder them, you wouldn't then bring them to receive aid or treatment.
If I may be heard in response, Your Honor, when you're ready.
Hold on one second.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm just trying to get the level of the offense. Second-degree murder is a first-degree felony punishable by imprisonment for a term of years not exceeding life. Okay? An attempt is one level lower. However, when you add the weapons enhancement, that enhances it back up to first-degree felony punishable by life. So it's a first-degree PBL, which is one of the offenses, level of offense, where if proof evident presumption grade is found, the person can be held no bond. Okay, go ahead and respond.
In response, Your Honor, to Dodson dropping off the victim at the hospital, but not, and as strange as that might have been, Your Honor, there was nothing in the police report or testimony that Dodson actually reached out for the police to let them know that anybody else or anything else could have happened to this person, or he wasn't responsible for anything. He actually kept quiet from the police. And Wilson was the one that did report the crime as Dodson as the shooter. And within the affidavit, Your Honor, that would be the proof evident presumption great that he did commit this crime.
Okay, so my previous ruling stands that he'll be held no bond on the attempted second-degree murder with a weapon. Despite the fact that I believe that I can find proof evident presumption great based upon the arrest affidavit, that does not preclude the defendant under the case law from asking for a formal hearing in front of the judge who was assigned his case, where that finding can be revisited. Okay, thank you. Okay. Ma'am, would you tell me your name, please?
Brooke Jarrow.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Brooke Jarrow.
And what is your date of birth?
5/25/90.
Okay. Ms. Jarrow, you've been arrested on an arrest warrant, finding probable cause on count 1, robbery with a deadly weapon, count 2, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Your bond on count 1 is going to be set at $25,000. Your bond on count 2 is set at $1,500. You're to have no contact with Donna Harvey and no contact with Keita. I don't have Keita's last name in this affidavit, but no contact with anybody named Keita. And no return to the scene of this incident, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
I don't even know where the scene of the incident was.
Huh?
I don't know where the scene of the incident was because I was riding my bike there. I had nothing, no idea.
Okay, keep this. I'll get an attorney to contact you about it, okay?
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name, please?
Bermstow Laguerre.
I'm sorry, what was your first name?
Bermstow.
Okay. Mr. Laguerre, I'm finding probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of grand theft of a motor vehicle. Your bond is going to be set at $1,500 on that charge. You're currently out on bond on a forgery of a credit card case, and I'm taking no action on that one. And I will appoint the public, oh, actually, you don't qualify for a public defender, so you'll have to hire your own attorney.
Pardon me, can you repeat it for me?
I said you don't qualify for the public defender because you make too much money, so you'll have to hire your own attorney.
Okay.
But I've set your bond at $1,500.
What about for the credit card?
I didn't take any action on that bond.
Thank you, miss.
Okay. Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
My name is Kevin Ramirez. My date of birth is December 6, 1996.
Okay, and Mr. Ramirez, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of battery on a licensed security officer. He qualifies for pretrial release, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll release him to pretrial release with the condition that he not return to Icon Park and that he have no contact with the listed victim. And I will appoint the public defender to represent him.
That means you're released in opposition. Keep in touch with your PCR supervisor and call us. So you'll be released.
Okay, let me, hold on, Mr. Ramirez? Okay, he lives in New York, right? Okay, you live in New York, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you have to keep in touch with your public defender.
Okay.
Because when your case is set, you have to return to Florida if it's a personal appearance, and we need to make sure that we know where you're living. You also have to provide your current address to the pretrial release folks so that they know where you are as well. Because if you fail to appear, there'll be a no bond capias issued for you, and that will be a long bus ride from New York if you get picked up there. Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
And he can return.
To return to New York?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
It's John Ethan Kyle Reed, 9/8/92.
Okay, Mr. Reed, I have several cases for you. Okay, first of all, there's probable cause to support your arrest on charges of possession of cocaine and possession of Xanax. Your bond is $1,000 on each of those counts. There's probable cause to support your arrest on charges of driving with no tag or registration and no motor vehicle license. Your bond is $500 on each of those offenses. And then I have a third case, which is in Osceola County. You are currently on probation, and there has been an on-view arrest conducted for a violation of that probation based upon these arrests here in Orange County. And so you'll be held no bond on the violation of probation matter. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you in all three of these cases.
Okay.
Thank you.
Including Osceola, Your Honor?
Yes, including Osceola. Even though you say you guys didn't qualify, one at that point so that they can address this Osceola case. Okay. Okay.
So I just knew that's it. I'm not a flight risk or anything like that.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Richard Martin Sharp.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, sir, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of throwing a deadly missile into an occupied vehicle. Your bond is set at $5,000, as well as criminal mischief, and your bond is set at $500 on the criminal mischief charge. I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Condition of your release is that you have no contact with Roger Evans and Aiden Evans.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor, may we request a bond reduction in this case? He, are you from Orlando?
Yes.
He is employed and he's from Orlando. He has rent coming up and he will not be able to afford the full bond amount. If we could reduce count 1 to $2,500.
What says the state?
The state would leave that up to your discretion.
Okay, let me see here what his criminal history is. Extensive. I'll reduce his bond to $3,000 on count 1.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Here you go.
Okay, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Terry Toops, December 27, 1978, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Toops. Okay. There's probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of possession of controlled substance, possession of less than 20 grams of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Bond is $1,000 on the controlled substance charge and $100 on the other 2 charges.
Yes, ma'am.
And I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, in light of the state not charging for misdemeanor amounts of cannabis, can we release him ROR on count 2?
Has the state made that policy announcement that they're not charging people with misdemeanor possession of cannabis?
I believe that's been the case for a while, and also the ROR on the cannabis of less than 20 grams has also been.
Is that right, Mr. Evans?
I don't have that information yet if it actually has come to fruition. I don't know yet
You don't know. Okay.
if the state has made that, passed that yet.
Okay. I'll ROR him on the cannabis charge then. Count 2 only.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Thomas Williams, and it's 7/17/2001.
Okay, Mr. Williams, there's probable cause to support your arrest on the charge of unauthorized possession of a fictitious Florida driver's license, as well as trespass on property after warning. You can be released to the pretrial release program with the condition that you do not return to the Knights Pub out by UCF. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you. Okay. Sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
Kenneth Lee Davis Jr., 7784.
Okay, Mr. Davis, you have been arrested on a failure to appear warrant. Your bond is $2,000. That's in case number 2020 MM6686. And I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Thank you. Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Darius Bradley.
And Mr. Bradley, what is your date of birth?
13087.
Okay, Mr. Bradley, there's probable cause to support your arrest on the following charges: failing to register a motor vehicle, attach registration plate not assigned to the vehicle, and driving while your license is suspended or revoked. Bond is set at $500 on the driving charge and $100 on the other 2 charges. And I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Not before.
Your Honor, would we be able to release him to PTR?
Let's see, it says here that he doesn't qualify. Let's see. Yeah, they were unable to verify any of his community ties and apparently has an injunction against him. I think that's what this says. So he doesn't qualify.
Would we be able to release him on the attached tag and the no motor vehicle registration?
What says the state?
Your Honor, the state agrees with the initial conclusion of $500 bond.
Okay, so I'll ROR on the first two and then $500 on the third one, which I think is what it was already ordered, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Call us when you know.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, sir, please tell me your name and date of birth.
Raimundo Carrasco Caldera, January 8, 83.
Okay, sir, there's probable cause to support your arrest on charges of driving with no valid driver's license as well as attached tag unassigned to the vehicle. On the driving charge, your bond is set at $500. And on the tag, I'll just ROR you on the tag.
Your Honor, is it possible to ROR on both? Looks like it's an immigration detainer, and that's likely why he doesn't qualify for PTR. It also says that he's unemployed.
Okay,
Additionally,
well, let me ask this question from pretrial release. Is he going to be, regardless of what happens with this, is he going to be detained by the immigration services?
It's up to immigration, but
It's
he
up-
would qualify for PTR. What would be required is that once he's released from ICE, he would report to his PTR officer.
Oh, okay, all right. So I'll release him to pretrial release, and he can report to pretrial release after his immigration hold is addressed.
Okay.
Both cases are just the one, both counts.
Yeah, on both counts.
Both counts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your Honor, Crystal Ray, she bonded.
Okay, she bonded out. What happened with Jeremy Mariscano?
You have a jail number, unit number?
Yep, that is 21001956.
He bonded, Your Honor.
He bonded, okay. And that person bonded, okay. And sir, what is your name?
First name James, last name Scott.
Okay, what happened to Christopher Powell?
You have another jail number?
21001971.
He posted bond, Your Honor.
He bonded out? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so this is Mr. Scott then. Okay. Okay, Mr. Scott, there's probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of driving while your license is suspended. Your bond is set at $500. You're currently out on bond on a felony case, so let me look that up. Okay, so it looks like Mr. Scott was arrested on January 11th and he posted bond on January 14th on, one felony, it looks like one felony and 3 misdemeanors. So I'm gonna revoke his bond on that case. I'm gonna set new bonds. Count 1 will be $2,000 and counts 2, 3, and 4 will be $500 each.
Count 1, 2,000.
Counts 2, 3, and 4, 500 each. With the same conditions, no contact directly or indirectly with the victim, no return to the scene. And I believe the public defender was previously appointed to represent him on that case. Yeah.
Your Honor, would it be possible to take no action on that case? He did just bond on it on the 14th. That was like.
Right, and there's probable cause that he's committed a new offense, so.
The new offense is a driving case, and it appears that he received notice that his license was suspended late December, so it is very likely that he did not know that it was suspended.
Oh, my bad.
Additionally, often driver's licenses are suspended due to financial issues, so I doubt he'll be able to post the bond again.
Okay, well, I'm keeping with the order that I've just entered. He has previous arrests that suggest to me that his license is suspended because of those offenses as opposed to financial reasons. So I'm keeping the order that I've just entered.
Well, I'll send this to Ron, but right now I can, no, not with
Okay, ma'am, would you tell me your name, please?
Daniela Tade.
Okay, Ms. Today, you've been arrested on a failure to appear capias issued in case number 2020 CT 8114. Your bond is set at $500 on that. You're currently out on bond on a DUI case, but since her new arrest does not involve a new substantive law offense, I'm not taking any action on that. And the public defender is appointed to represent you on your new case.
Yes. If you put it, you should release it.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name, please?
Reginald Valentine. Second.
Okay, go ahead. What is your date of birth?
1205, 86.
Okay. Sir, you've been arrested on a failure to appear capias in case number 2020 CT 7472. Your bond is set at $500, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, sir, what is your name?
Alan Davenport.
And Mr. Davenport, what is your date of birth?
April 1st, 1962.
Okay. Mr. Davenport, there's probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia and as well as retail theft. Your bond is $500 on the paraphernalia charge and $150 on the retail theft charge. I will appoint the public defenders to represent you.
Your Honor, would it be possible to release him ROR? He is on Social Security disability.
What says the state?
Your Honor, based on past previous based on past previous convictions, the state agrees with your posting the bond of $500 and the appropriate one of petty theft of the $150.
Okay. It looks like he has previous failures to appear, as well as violations of probation, as well as extensive arrest history, as well as extensive conviction history. So I'm going to leave the bond where it is.
What, Your Honor, would he be released to PTR?
He doesn't qualify for pretrial release. Let's see. It says here that he has 2 other open cases that look like they have notices to appear. I don't know anything about those, so.
Mr. Davenport believes that's a mistake. He was enrolled in the Bridges program when that was issued.
In 2010?
Oh, Your Honor, was it failure to appear in 2010?
Notices to appear in 2 2010 cases. I'm not really sure what that means. It says defendant has open case NTA 2010 CT 18647, 2010 CT 18650.
Okay.
I don't know what those are.
To his knowledge, he's never missed a case. Setting a monetary bond in this case would essentially be like holding him no bond due to his limited access to funds and set income.
Well, the purpose of bond is to assure the defendant's presence at court, and it's also to ensure the protection of the community. And with his criminal history, unfortunately, for similar offenses, I think it's appropriate to have a bond in his case.
She knows. Okay, Your Honor, what was the amount?
It was $500 on the drug paraphernalia and $150 on the petty theft. And the condition of his release is that he not return to any Walmart.
Do you want to see if there's anything?
Your Honor, is there an offer available in this case?
Does the state have an offer?
Your Honor, I did not have an offer prepared for this case, specifically
Okay.
due to criminal history.
So I believe that under Marcy's law, Walmart would have the right to be heard with regard to any resolution of his case. And so at this point, I'm not going to resolve his case today.
Your Honor, Mr. Davenport does wish to make a statement.
Go ahead.
Okay, Yana, I just recently graduated from the bridge program.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this was a hiccup, but I did 6 months in the bridge program without incident.
Was that on a felony case? Were you sentenced to the bridge on a felony case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what was that felony?
VOP.
Okay.
But I was in jail when they VOP'd me, Your Honor. Which I didn't understand
I don't
because
understand that either.
I was in 2 veteran programs at the time.
Okay. Well, I'll indicate that he can also be assessed for Veterans Court if he's a veteran. I don't know whether they supervise folks on misdemeanors. I just don't know.
It's typically not done, Your Honor, just because these cases often are resolved at arraignment.
So I'll reset his case for tomorrow for a potential plea in front of whoever the IA judge is, and then Mr. Evans, you guys can get in touch with Walmart and see if they wish to be heard. And you can get his criminal history together.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who does initial appearances in the
So
morning?
tomorrow you're going to come back and
I think tomorrow is gonna be.
It's either Judge Bain or Judge Gibson, right? Okay, so we'll just reset him for tomorrow then.
Okay.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Well, listen,
What is your name and date of birth?
Ronald Dean Guffey. It's 11860.
Okay, Mr. Guffey, there's probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of petty theft as well as resisting a merchant. On the petty theft charge, your bond is $250. On the resisting merchant charge, your bond is $100. And I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. It does not appear that he qualifies for pretrial release.
Your Honor, can we request ROR in this case? It is a, okay, give me a second. It is a misdemeanor, nonviolent misdemeanor.
What says the state?
Your Honor, the state would agree with the bond that you've set based off the criminal history.
Okay, and that's what I'm looking at. He has an extensive criminal history in Florida as well as out of state. And he was last convicted apparently on December 10th of 2020 of retail theft and threatening a law enforcement officer. So in light of that, I'm not going to release him ROR.
Your Honor, Carlos Lavano bonded.
Carlos Lavano did?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, sir, would you tell me your name, please?
Jaquavia Smith.
Okay, Mr. Smith, there's probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of trespass on property after a warning. I'm going to reduce your bond. It says on here $2,000, but I'm going to reduce it to $500. As a condition of your release, you're not to return to the Orlando International Airport unless you have a ticket on an airplane.
Your Honor, I did talk to the state about this case and an offer was relayed. I requested ROR so that we can even see if he would be eligible for PTD. Would we be able to release him ROR and appoint the PD in this case?
What says the state?
Your Honor, the state did agree to an ROR if it was up to the judge's discretion was the same. And the state would offer as well PTD or pretrial diversion program, or at least consideration for that program, Your Honor.
Okay.
Based off criminal history.
All right, so I'll release him ROR. Mr. Mr. Smith, you are ordered to contact your public defender every Monday so that you can keep in touch with him or her, and they can let you know what's going on with your case, as well as when you're next required to appear in court.
Okay.
Okay, good luck to you. Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
John Snyder, 6782.
Okay, Mr. Snyder, there's probable cause to support your arrest for violation of a county ordinance against solicitation in the public right-of-way. You have a $250 bond. Does the state have an offer to resolve his case?
The state does, Your Honor. The state would just recommend 5 days of Orange County Jail with any
Okay.
credit time served.
Mr. Snyder, are you interested in the state's offer?
Yes.
Okay. And we don't have plea forms, right? Mr. Snyder, do you want to enter a no contest plea or a guilty plea to this charge?
No contest.
Okay. Do you understand you're waiving your right to have a jury trial on this case by
Yes.
entering this plea? And that's
Yes.
and that's what you want to do today?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll adjudicate you guilty. You're sentenced to 5 days in the jail. You have credit for 2 days that you've served. You're ordered to pay $223 in court costs plus the $50 cost of prosecution. And I'll order that you pay that to the clerk of the court within the next 6 months. Do you have any questions about your sentence?
Nope.
Okay. Good luck to you. Is there out of counties? Okay. Sir, would you tell me your name?
James Ritchie,
Okay. And Mr. Ritchie, your date of birth, please?
080387,
Okay, Mr. Ritchie, you've been arrested on a warrant issued out of
Volusia County.
Volusia County. Yep. And let's see. The bond on that warrant is a $500 cash bond. Actually, you have two of them, I believe.
Yeah, there's two charges on the same case.
Yeah. And so it's $500 cash on each one. Okay, and I'm not certain what Volusia County is doing with regard to transporting inmates, so on the chance that you cannot post that bond, I'm gonna temporarily appoint the public defender's office so that you can have a lawyer at least to speak to, and they perhaps can work something out, and we can resolve your case while you're here, if you can't bond out, but you're free to bond out as well.
So I can bond out from Orlando?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I was told I couldn't bond out till I got to Volusia County.
No, you can bond out here.
All right, thank you.
Okay, good luck to you. Okay. Sir, would you tell me your name?
Leandro Recio Bautista.
Okay, and let me look at my notes from yesterday. Okay, Mr. Bautista, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of tampering with a witness to hinder communication of law enforcement as well as criminal mischief. Your bond is $1,000 on the tampering charge, $250 on the criminal mischief charge. Let me just look at your case over here. Actually, you qualify for pretrial release. Do you want to be released to pretrial release?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll release you to pretrial release. However, with the following conditions: no contact with the victim in this case. And if I didn't already say it, I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
Okay.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name, please?
Courtney Dean Burke.
Okay, what do we do with Mr. Burke?
This is a reset, Your Honor. I did speak to the PD, and the offer was withhold court cost, no return to Walmart, and $117 to $117.74 to Coe PD.
Okay, so let me remind myself on Mr. Burke's case. I think I may have indicated yesterday that I was not going to agree to a withhold of adjudication. Mr. Burke has prior convictions, as I understand it, for 6 felonies and 3 misdemeanors. At least if this information is correct. I can probably look at it pretty quickly. This was providing false ID to law enforcement.
It's for the, out of bond case.
Yeah, that's right. The out-of-bond case is resisting merchandise recovery and petty theft. And let me see if his prior offenses involve those crimes. Okay. Mr. Evans, do you have the details on Mr. Burke's prior criminal history?
Just what you have in front of you, Your Honor, that you're able to read off the face sheet. I don't have a rap sheet from the state attorney's office.
Okay. Okay, all right, so, given his criminal history, I'm not going to agree to withhold an, what was it, time served? Is that what it was?
I don't know how many days time served he has on that case.
Oh, that's a good point, okay, let me see.
He had 3 days. According to, it came in as an NTA.
Uh-huh.
And then you failed to appear, which was 1 day, with RR, and then you revoked his bond yesterday.
Okay.
So yesterday and today, give him 2 days, so you got to pay him 3 days.
Great, he's got 3 days credit. Let me just pull up that case again. Okay, let's see.
Your Honor, in light of Mr. Burke being unemployed and unable to post a monetary bond in his cases, would we be able to resolve all of his cases with a guilty plea in 10 days OCJ?
How many cases does he have?
I believe it's the case that was open in Division 81, and then the new law that he was arrested for. 2021 MM 24.
So on the new law offense, though, doesn't the state need to file an information?
Not if we resolve the case at IAs, I believe. I think that's the only way that he'd be able to resolve the case prior to an information being filed.
Right, but I'm saying, is that a charge that he can plead to without the state actually charging him with a crime? That's what I'm not certain of.
Yes, only at IAs, though. So if he wanted to plead later, but the information was not filed on, he would not be able to yet.
Okay, so, the charge that's in 2020 MM 335 AW, and then we have the case that I saw him on yesterday, which was 2021 MM 24, which is providing false identification of law enforcement. Are those the only two open cases for him?
Your Honor, if I may, I believe there's also the open case of 2020 MM 6283 BO.
I believe that's a trespass in which he failed to appear.
What was the trespass case number?
Yes, it's 2020 MM 6283B as in ball, O.
6283?
6283, correct.
Okay.
AO, right?
BO as in Barry, Bravo.
He said for a pretrial on that day.
I have that as Aaron Burke,
Oh, no.
not Courtney Dean Burke, although he's used various names on some of these cases, so I don't know if that's him or not.
It does say, also known as Courtney, it is an alliance name.
Okay,
Alias.
so, I saw him yesterday on that case.
Yes, you did, Judge. And you,
Right, okay. So if he wants to resolve all three of those cases, I'll take his plea and it'll be 30 days in the jail concurrent on all three. And then he'll get whatever credit he's entitled to.
Okay, and Your Honor, can you tell us how many days credit he already has on the trespass?
On the trespass case?
On the BO, yeah, the one ending in BO.
the one that's, so that,
Let's
the
see.
defendant B?
Yeah. So let's see.
2 days. Came in, well, it was consolidated. Let me go back, let me see, it was consolidated with another case. Let's see. Let me see, was he on this case? Okay, Aaron Burke.
He believes he has about 3 weeks on that case.
I have to look and see.
He was ROR on that case originally. Let's see.
Yeah, so he was arrested.
He was arrested on August 28th, and he was ROR on September 16th. So whatever that credit is.
Let me see.
But I want to make sure he's actually been charged with a crime in that case. Yeah,
One second.
yeah.
Is it 19 days?
It was August. He was arrested on August the 25th.
I think 19 days.
You said August the 25th?
19 days?
Let's see.
I don't know, 19 days?
19 days.
19 days.
Plus whatever time he been here 2 days?
Yeah.
21
Or,
days?
I guess it would be 3 days by now. So he
So
would,
he got
He was 19
19
from
and
August to September, and then plus the 3 days here.
22 days.
Um,
Because I saw him yesterday. He was arrested on Friday, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is 3 days. Plus 19 originally. Let's see. He was arrested on,
22 days.
okay, he was arrested on August 28th, and he was released ROR on September 16th. So that's 19 days and then 3 days, so 22 days. So he has 22 days credit on the trespass case, 2020 MM 6283, he's co-defendant B in that case. And then on the providing false ID to law enforcement, he would have 3 days on that, right? Because he was arrested on Friday,
Friday, Saturday,
right?
Sunday.
That's 3 days. And then on his 2020 MM 335, I revoked his bond yesterday, so we've got yesterday and today, plus whatever he had originally. So
In light of the amount of credit he had, can we,
And on 2020 MM 335AW, that he originally, it was a notice to appear. Let's see.
What's his 21 case number? So I need to print an order for that one.
The 2021 MM 24, yeah, I have it right here. You printed it for me.
No, I have to take out one to
Okay.
to sign.
Yeah.
It's 24 AA or AO? AA.
AA.
So we continue in this IA. The IA.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I have to write something on this one. So you got three days on that one, right?
Right, and then on 2020 MM 335AW,
Yeah.
he had a notice to appear,
Okay.
which was a failed to, and he failed to appear.
And the RR, the same thing, so that's 1 day.
Yeah, and then,
You were both deployed
and then he
yesterday.
had 2 days, so he's got 3 days. Right,
Yes, I got 3 days on this one.
yeah. Okay, so he has 3 cases on 2020 MM 6283, where he's charged with trespass in the structure. He has 22 days credit. In case number 2021 MM 24, where he's charged with providing false ID to law enforcement, he has 3 days credit. And on 2020 MM 335 AW, where he's charged with resisting merchandise recovery and petty theft, he has 3 days credit on that.
okay, and, I'm sorry, the offer was 30 days on all 3?
30 days on all 3 concurrent.
Okay. Do you want to do it or you want to wait? No, because you have to do the 30 days. You only have 27 days.
Was on the new case.
You have to do 27 days on these two.
500.
Yeah, would we be able to release him ROR on the false ID and the 2 cases that he has 3 days on? And then credit time serve him on the case where he has 22 days?
No,
Okay.
no. I already set his bonds on those other 2 cases. The only reason I set it for today was to see if he was going to plea.
So, yeah,
You're together, I already had 22 days in.
no, but she's not adding those last 2 cases to that 22-day case. So you would have to do 27 days or wait till we file your bond motion. You gonna
Well,
wait?
I have to do like, what, 25 days maybe, or whatever the case is. I mean, it's still
You got 27 days. Or you gonna wait? I could ask the PD to
You
file.
get 5 days off a month, correct?
Yes.
So the
And
30,
then-
so yours, yeah, so actually that's immediately off the top, so I would do like 22 days, like 3
You
weeks.
gonna wait? Or are you gonna do it?
I mean, what's it gonna, if I wait, what's the difference?
Can you finish the bond?
No?
Okay. If you
I'd rather
could-
I'd rather just get done with it.
Okay.
I don't know what else to do, what
It's
else you
up-
want me to do.
yeah,
because
no, I understand.
You know,
But it's up to you. You wanna-
let's just do it, let's run
Okay.
it.
All right, Your Honor, he wants to accept your offer.
Okay.
I appreciate your help.
Okay, so, Mr. Burke,
Yes, ma'am.
there are 3 cases today for you. There's case number 2020 MM 335 AW. In that case, you're charged with resisting merchandise recovery, which is a first-degree misdemeanor. The maximum penalty for that is 1 year in jail plus a $1,000 fine. You're also charged with petty theft, which is a second-degree misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is 60 days in jail plus a $500 fine. Do you understand the charges in that case and the maximum penalties?
Yes, ma'am.
In case number 2021 MM 24, you're charged with providing false identification to law enforcement. That offense is a third-degree felony. That carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison plus a $5,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And in third case,
Yeah, Your Honor, I believe they're all misdemeanors. I don't believe it's a F3.
Yeah.
okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, and then in case number 2020 MM 6283, you are charged with trespass in the structure, which is a second-degree misdemeanor. Again, that carries a maximum penalty of 60 days in jail plus a $500 fine. Do you understand the charge in that case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I believe I was mistaken. Hold on. On case number 2021 MM 24, where you're charged with providing false identification of law enforcement, I mistakenly told you that was a third-degree felony. That is a first-degree misdemeanor, and that carries a maximum penalty of 1 year in the jail plus a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that charge and the maximum penalty in that case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you wish to enter a guilty or a no contest plea to all of these cases?
No contest.
Mr. Burke, did you take any medication today?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever been treated for a mental illness or an emotional disturbance?
No, ma'am.
Since you've been in the jail, have you been seen by the jail psychiatric team for any reason?
No, ma'am.
How far did you complete in your education?
I graduated high school, went in college.
Okay. Do you understand that by entering into these pleas, you're giving up your right to have a jury trial on these 3 cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand by entering into these pleas, you're giving up your right to see and hear all the witnesses testify against you and to have your lawyer question them for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering into these pleas, you're giving up your right to assert any defenses that you have to these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering into this plea today, you're giving up your right to either testify or remain silent at the time of a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering into these pleas today, you're giving up your right to appeal all matters to a higher court, except for whether I impose a legal sentence in your case and whether I have the authority to preside over your case?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that if I accept your plea, I'm going to sentence you in these 3 cases today?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you entering your no contest plea today freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you into entering into these pleas today?
No, ma'am.
Has anybody made any promises to you other than what we've discussed today about what your sentence will be?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the representation you received from the Public Defender's Office?
I am, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you are not a United States citizen, that entry of these pleas will result in you being deported?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I have had a chance to review all of the charging affidavits in these 3 cases. Mr. Evans, is there anything else you want to add to the factual basis for the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Abraham, anything else you want to add to the factual basis?
No, Your Honor, no objection for purposes of the plea.
Okay. So, Mr. Burke, I am going to accept your pleas. I find that you are alert and intelligent, that your pleas are freely and voluntarily entered, that you understand the nature of all the charges against you, and you're represented by competent counsel with whom you say you're satisfied. Also find there's a factual basis for your pleas. Is there anything you want to say at this time before I impose your sentence?
No, ma'am.
In case number 2020 MM 6283, co-defendant B, which is trespass in a structure, Mr. Burke is adjudicated guilty. He's sentenced to 30 days in the jail. He does have credit for 22 days that he's already served. In case number 2020 MM 335 AW, he is adjudicated guilty on counts 1 and 2. On each count, he's sentenced to 30 days in the jail. Each count is concurrent. He has credit for 3 days that he's already served.
Judge, he has she said a cost investigation to I guess she went to the fine part.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that yet. Okay, that's okay. And then lastly, in case number 2021 MM 24 AA, he is adjudicated guilty of providing false ID to law enforcement. He's sentenced to 30 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 3 days that he's served. And the sentences I've imposed on all 3 cases are concurrent with each other. With regard to court costs, on each case he's ordered to pay $224 in court costs, $50 for the cost of prosecution. On the 2020 MM 6283 case, co-defendant B, Since the public defender has been representing for him for some time, in that case, I'll order that he pay the $50 DERP fee and the $100 public defender lien, but I won't assess those in the other cases.
So the AW case, you assessing.
On the 2020 MM 6283 co-defendant B case, that's where I'm assessing the $50 DERP fee and the $100 public defender lien. But I'm not assessing the DERP fee in the other two cases or a PD lien. Okay? Right. Okay. Mr. Evans, are there any costs of investigation on any of these cases?
One moment, Your Honor.
The PD said it was a
He provided it to me earlier. It was $117.74 to Ocoee PD,
Which case was that?
2020 MM 335AW.
And it was 100?
And $17.74.
Okay, so I'll order that Mr. Burke pay $117.74 to the Ocoee Police Department in case number 2020 MM 335AW. And I'll reduce all of these costs to a civil judgment against him.
You're gonna have a cost investigation for 6283 if you'd like.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Sorry, I have a cost investigation for 6283 if you'd like.
Okay, what is that?
Cost investigation for 6283 is $186.51 to the Orlando Police Department.
And what was the amount again?
Sorry, $186.51.
Okay, so I'll order that Mr. Burke pay $186.51 to the Atlanta Police Department in case number 2020 MM 6283, co-defendant B. Okay? Mr. Burke, you do have 30 days from today's date within which to appeal the judgment and sentence of this court. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you. Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Put this aside. Okay. All right, sir, would you tell me your name, please?
Lawrence Jones.
Okay, I believe his case was reset for today. Ms. Abraham, did I ask you to address or to consider any competency issues on this?
Yes, Your Honor, we're not comfortable allowing Mr. Jones to accept the plea offer in this case at this time. However, I did get access to that email from the city prosecutor, and I have forwarded over to the state attorney, and it contains the city's position on ROR in light of COVID-19. And in that email, he does have no objection to ROR for cases that do not resolve here at IA's.
Hold on one second. Okay, yeah, we need Mr. Burke's fingerprints before he leaves, or as he's released. He won't be released anyway, but at some point we'll need his prints. Okay, so the city prosecutor has no objection to ROR then for Mr. Jones?
Correct.
Okay. So I'll release him ROR. Mr. Jones, you are ordered to contact the public defender's office every Monday so that you can speak with your lawyer and keep abreast of what's going on with your case.
You're gonna get released, you're gonna get a call.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, we can address Mr. Martin.
Yeah, hold on one second. Okay, so I was supposed to see him yesterday for initial appearance on 2021 CF 899, and I think he refused to come to court, and I said we would address his case today. In the meantime, I do see that the state filed a no information notice. So he can be released on 2021 CF 899.
Your Honor, he had 2 open feds.
I'm sorry, say that again?
He had 2 open cases.
He has 2 open cases. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to take any action on those since the state filed a no information notice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Abraham, anything else you want to address on that?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, just give me 1 second. Okay, so this case, Martin. No.
Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones is ROR now.
So Mr. Jones, okay, got Mr. Jones. I'm still working on Bert. I got to get some orders. Okay, Martin is what?
Mr. Martin, on 2021 CF 899, the state filed a dismissal,
So no action,
so he can be released.
so no action on this case, okay?
Yeah,
No action,
but he can be
release.
released from the jail.
Release, okay.
Yeah.
So the two cases that he's out on bond, you
Take no action on
Okay,
those.
no action.
Yep.
None people
Okay.
release, no action release defendant.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you can indicate on the IA paperwork that the state filed a no information notice. So he should be released from the jail on that 2021 case. Okay. Miss, would you tell me your name?
My name is Amanda Myers.
Okay, so, let me see what I have on Miss Myers' case. Okay. Ms. Myers, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of battery. Your bond is set at $500 with conditions that you not return to the Days Inn located at 3300 South Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando, Florida, and that you have no contact with Tiffany Miley. And I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Thank you.
Thank you. 500, yep, okay. Okay, sir, would you tell me your name, please?
John Thatch.
What was your first name?
John.
And your date of birth?
February 19th, 1993.
Okay, sir, you have been arrested on an outstanding violation of probation warrant issued by Judge Wilson in case number 2020 CF 1252. Your bond is set at $5,000, and I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Okay, sir, would you tell me your name, please?
Alex Deans.
Okay, let me look at your paperwork. Is your middle name Stephen?
Yes, ma'am.
And is your date of birth December 30th, 1977?
No, ma'am. 6/13/02. That's my dad's birthday.
Oh, okay. Okay, I don't have, let me see. Do we have a face sheet for this gentleman? I only have the one, I think, for his dad. Let me see if it's.
Your Honor, if I may approach, I can show you what I have.
No, I'm just asking the correction staff. Did we have one of these for him?
Can print you another one out.
Okay, in any event, I do find that there is probable cause to support his arrest for violation of city ordinances based upon the allegation of assault on a law enforcement officer, as well as resisting an officer. Bond is set at $500 on each charge unless he qualifies for pretrial release.
That one count was 200, both of them was 5.
Oh, I'm sorry, the second count was $200.
Can we do bond or, because he hadn't been interviewed?
I'm sorry, didn't
He
hear
has
you.
not been interviewed, so can we do a bond or PTR?
Sure, we can do bond or pretrial release if he qualifies for pretrial release. And I will appoint the public defender to represent him. Condition of his bond or release is that he not return to Wall Street. Okay, thank you. What's that?
But he didn't have
Okay,
any.
call you, this,
He didn't have
this is
any.
you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. All right. So you did bond or?
Yeah, I did. I did bond or pretrial release. Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
Stephen Deans, 12/30/77.
Okay, sir, there's probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of disorderly conduct. Your bond is set at $500, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Your Honor, I believe is this a city case? We'd be requesting ROR.
And they're both visiting from Ohio. So if Alex does get PTR, he's able to return to Ohio?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Which one,
The other, the young man,
If
yeah.
he does get PTR?
Yeah.
he
Does
can
this guy
return to
qualify
Ohio.
for pretrial release? His father?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so he can be released to pretrial release. I'll appoint the public defender.
You wanna do
And
bond
no return
or?
to Wall Street. And because you live in Ohio, you do need to keep in touch with the public defender's office so they can let you know if you have to come back to Florida for your case.
So
Okay.
Going on PTR?
No, just pretrial release. Yeah. Okay, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Release the pretrial release, kind of the obligation.
Right.
You have to call them and keep in touch. Then call our office, talk about the case.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
Travis Hawkins, 4th March 17 days, 1964.
Okay, Mr. Hawkins, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of disorderly conduct, which is a violation of the Orlando City Code. Your bond is set at $250, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
Mr. Hawkins is unemployed, Your Honor, and it's a city ordinance case. Can we release him ROR?
Does he qualify for pretrial release? No, he doesn't. He doesn't have any community ties. Okay. Does the state object to ROR?
You know, the state does not object to RR according to what the city attorney has stated.
Okay, so I'll release him ROR. Sir, you have to contact your public defender every Monday so that you can keep in touch with him or her so that they can let you know what's going on with your case.
You're gonna get released tonight, when you gotta call us.
What happened to Heidi Garrett? Garritus?
You have a booking number for me?
21001968?
1568?
1968?
Posted bond, Your Honor.
She bonded? Okay. That's Mr. Hawkins then. Okay, sir, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
Could not hear.
Tell your name and date of birth.
Byron Moore, 9/6/1951.
Okay, Mr. Moore, there is probable cause to support your arrest on disorderly conduct, violation of City of Orlando ordinance. Your bond is set at $250. Is this another ROR case?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll release him ROR. I will appoint the public defender. Sir, you need to call the public defender's office every Monday so that you can keep in touch with your lawyer, so they'll let you know when you next need to come to court. Okay, would you tell me your name and date of birth?
Barry Moses, 1965.
Okay, Mr. Moses, there is probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of an open container violation. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Is this one of the ROR cases for the city, Mr. Evans?
It would appear so, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll release him ROR. Mr. Moses, you need to call the public defender's office every Monday so you
Yes,
can keep
ma'am.
in touch with your lawyer.
No, you don't have to sign, this is for you to keep.
Okay.
That's the number.
Okay. Sir, would you tell me your name?
Warren Sweat.
Okay, Mr. Sweat, there's probable cause to support your arrest on a charge of an open container violation, which is a violation of the Orlando City Code. I will release you ROR, and I will appoint the public defender. You do need to contact the public defender every Monday so they can let you know what's going to happen with your case.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.